Hey, what's up? Welcome to this quick recording. This is just the example video that I promised quite some time ago now, but I did forget about it, but I've just remembered it. It's the example video regarding if you have the crosshair tracking exactly where the projectile will hit, how the crosshair moves around quite erratically when navigating sort of like a 3D space. Because the projectile can hit various things and the crosshair has to jump around the screen, and it can be quite difficult to aim with it not being in a fixed place. So hopefully I can show that here. So if I run over here, you can actually see my crosshairs down in the bottom left next to the character. That's because the gun at the moment is sort of held in an idle position, but if I aim the gun, you can see that it is now tracking exactly where the projectile is going to hit. So if I take this scenario here, for example, if I'm aiming at this box, you can see that the projectile is going to be hitting the box. But if I come closer to the edge, you can see when it's going to shoot behind the box, the projectile is actually going to be behind the box, but my crosshair suggests that it's going to be hitting the box. And that's because the crosshair is a like for like exactly where that projectile is going to be. Now if I come to this barrel here, which gets in my way a little bit, so you can see at the moment, obviously the crosshair is moving because it's live with where the gun is positioned and where the bullet's going to hit. So as my character idles side to side, you're actually picking that up in the crosshair as well. However, that's not the main issue. If you can see here, as I just move to the right slightly, the only thing that's changing here is the slight sway from my character moving side to side. But because the bullet is actually going to hit the barrel in some instances, but then as the sway moves it past the barrel, you can see how my crosshair jumps almost, in some respects, an inch across the screen. Now, imagine this in a fast-paced game where you've got lots of enemies running towards you, some in the distance, some closer to you. Your crosshair is going to be very difficult to track because you might move it to the right to aim at the character, but then because the bullet might miss it, it might jump further to the left or to the right, and you're going to be you're going to struggle to aim for those characters, for example. So here it's hitting the barrel, and then now it's hitting the archway in the background. So you can see how just that. Obviously, you can fix up the character sway so that it isn't a sway, and that would alleviate that. I get that. However, if you've got lots of people here, like if I'm walking through the scene, you can see as the projectiles are now able to hit all of these different characters at different depths, my crosshair is going crazy because it's updating so rapidly with where the projectile's actually going. It's making my job aiming. I don't know whether to move the mouse to the left or to the right, up a bit, and that's why having a one-to-one representation of where your bullet goes in terms of what's in front of the barrel isn't necessarily a good game choice. Because granted, yes, it's realistic, you can get an accurate representation of where the bullet is actually going to hit, but it does actually make the sort of mental connection with your aiming system, your mouse or your game controller, so much harder to use, because instead of your cursor being in a fixed place where you can go, I just need to move my hand slightly to the right and I'm going to be aiming at the enemy, now you're having to take in all this depth information into consideration when aiming. I hope that clears things up. I wasn't saying that it's the wrong idea, but as you can see, in terms of playability, it becomes very difficult to manage. I hope that clears things up. If it does, let me know down in the comments, or feel free to join the Discord and we can chat more about it. But I hope that clears things up, and thanks for watching. Cheers.